After all, this world that we experience every day is ever-changing. They say that's the one constant in life, is that it's always changing. Nothing lasts forever. No building can last forever. Our bodies don't last forever. As much as some benefactor might have invested in the preservation of this building, he might have made it last for centuries, but he couldn't make it last forever. And in the end, it doesn't really matter, because the building, this beautiful chapel, is, after all, a means to an end. It's not the end in itself. And that end has nothing to do with bricks, with mortar, with stained glass windows, with organs, as beautiful as those things might be in themselves. The end to which this building leads us is divine. It's eternal. It's never changing. It's imperishable. I think that's the spirit with which we want to remember the building, and that's something that we carry in our hearts always. As we recreate the campus, we'll build another chapel. It'll be either a building in and of itself, or it'll be part of a larger building, but we will build another chapel so that we can continue to have religious services welcoming all the denominations of the world, and continue to have weddings and memorial services and concerts. So that function will continue. And already a donor in the community has stepped forward to say that he intends to donate and to help raise the money to build that building in the course of time. Some predicted that the dismantling of this building would divide the community, and I want to stand here and say I feel in many respects it's actually united the community. I can speak personally and say that I've come together and met many wonderful people in thinking through how to preserve the chapel that I would not have met otherwise. And I speak on behalf of many in the university who've had that same experience. Wonderful meetings with wonderful people in Fairfield who I hope to continue my relationship with. And one of the people that I met who I want to express gratitude right here at the beginning to is Dr. Ronald Stone, who is the pastor at the First Presbyterian Church in Fairfield. Parsons College was founded as a Presbyterian church. Barhydt Chapel was founded as a Presbyterian college, and Barhydt Chapel was a Presbyterian church, so it seemed only fitting that this farewell celebration should be conducted as a farewell, as a Presbyterian service. And Dr. Ronald Stone, who's been a member of our community for only about 5 weeks, has stepped in seamlessly and given wonderful leadership and direction to this celebration. So I want to appreciate his leadership right at the beginning. Once again, I want to thank all of you from my heart for joining us for this celebration this evening. Thank you.
It seems rather appropriate, perhaps, that I'm here at this time. I have probably, in my number of years on the staff of this college, put on more convocations, trustee meetings, homecoming queen celebrations, all those types of things that were conducted in this building during the time that I was privileged to work at Parsons College. So tonight I feel privileged to be asked to participate in this farewell ceremony. Those 12 years at Parsons and as mayor of the city for several years, I feel I have more than a passing feeling about the demise of this beautiful chapel. If her walls could talk, she could relate many wonderful happenings that have taken place, from her beginnings in 1907 to her basic church abandonment in 1973. Many of those events had major educational impact, while others were very joyous and happy. Barhydt underwent her most major renovation in 1962, which may have changed some of her interior appearance, but it didn't change her role on the campus or her Presbyterian virtues. During those many years, she was the scene of required chapel services, student theatrical performances, pep rallies and convocations, and countless student pranks and nameless occurrences. It is a sad and with a deep feeling emotion as we say goodbye to this historical landmark on this campus and in our community.
It gives me great pleasure this evening to be the one who has the opportunity to introduce Dr. Tree. I think the introduction can be very brief because many of you are very well acquainted with Dr. Tree as a resident of our Fairfield community since 1955. When I came to Parsons College to be employed in 1960, someone came to me and said, "There's a man that you should meet because I think both of you graduated from Grinnell College." So that was my first introduction to Dr. Robert Tree. Dr. Tree, of course, taught history here at Parsons College until the college closed, and then moved over to Fairfield High School and taught in the high school, and then continued teaching over at Iowa Wesleyan College.
Well, thank you, Martha, and Professor Pearson, Dr. Stone, fellow panelists, and all the rest. It is a real pleasure being here this evening. If anybody had told me 45 years or so ago that I would be here delivering a eulogy for a chapel, I would have said they certainly were on the wrong track. But here I am, and may I say that it is also awfully nice to see such a large crowd in this chapel, because I do remember from the Parsons days when we still had chapel services, not daily when I came, only once a week, but then we also had assemblies from time to time, and we'd see the chapel nicely filled the way this is, so it looks rather familiar. Well, I've been asked to reminisce a bit about the college, about the chapel over the years, and of course I haven't been here for all 90 of them. It sometimes feels as though maybe I have, but at any rate, I'll try to hit some of the high spots through the years. Unhappily, ships and buildings have a way of aging, and maintenance becomes more costly and difficult. Moreover, the needs of the users change. Eventually, a decision is reached that the ship or building must go. Such decisions are frequently controversial. Certainly, many of us are saddened that Barhydt Chapel is slated to go. The chapel, however, will not be forgotten. As I think you all know, it is planned that the organ, the windows, the memorial plaques, and some of the stones will be incorporated into the Civic Center planned for construction in the near future. It will be an appropriate link, I think, between the past and the future. And let us hope that the new building will serve our community as well or even better than Barhydt has served in the past. Meanwhile, we rejoice. We have had a celebration of music this evening, which has been wonderful. And we can give thanks to the several generations of students and others who have had the use of this grand building and has occupied a special place in Fairfield and Jefferson County for 90 years. It will be long remembered. And thank you very much.